Hello, I'm back in the shed. It is a flipping mess, but as you can see, I've got the motorbike outside. Woohoo! So, see if I can get that rolling. But for now, the Klein Pulse from 1998 26-inch mountain bike is getting electrified. So, that just arrived this morning. I've got some flat pedals to go with it. So far, I have started the preparation process of getting rid of the bottom bracket. Those are the tools you need. Pedals, pedal wrench, all gone. I will be deleting the front derailleur, so that's coming off next. That also means deleting the front shifter, and then you'll be replacing the brake levers. We'll be adding the motor and putting it together. I will take some short videos along the way, but I won't bore you. There are enough videos out there showing how to do this. You're just going to see quick snapshots along the way and how it's going and how it turns out. So stay tuned, stick around, and watch for what's going about to be happening. If you're ever curious, this is pretty much what comes in a e-bike mid-drive kit, depending on what you order. Let's go through it real quickly. Obviously, the motor. You've got a throttle, which you probably wouldn't use. I'm not using it. In my case, I don't need it. You've got brake lever cutoffs. I go in with the brake lever. You could get the little sensors that go to existing brake levers if you have disc brakes, for example, but I don't, so that's that. Connector cable for the display to the motor. Speed sensor that attaches to the frame so that it detects the speed, the motion of the rear wheel. Crank arms, some spacers for installation depending on the width of your bottom bracket, and that's it. It's really straightforward. Motor goes into the bottom bracket, stick your speed sensor on, put your brake levers on, hook up the little wires, and put your cranks on, pedals on, try to make everything clean. You'll see what I'll do. The battery will go there, obviously, and the wiring, all that extra wiring, I'm going to take an old water bottle and store everything inside that. Use that as a way to hide everything. So that's really it's really simple, and wow, it will improve the way your bike rides in the city. So let's get to putting it on. Okay, while we're here, I thought I'd give a quick explanation of how the motor slots in and what you have to watch out for when you put this on. So, very simply, the motor comes in through the drive side and it sticks out the non-drive side, where you then attach little bits that hold it in place strong. So what you'll need is, for a mountain bike 68mm bottom bracket shell, you'll need both washers, and I use the longer screw to go through the housing that holds this plate on, and everything is in soft. You don't torque everything down, and then you lightly put on this outer silver ring using the supplied tool. If you don't have one, it's pretty shite, but it does the job. And the most important part, because you don't want this motor to rotate forward, banging into your frame when it's under power, which it will do if you don't. I've heard reports. Anyway, there are 2 bolts, and there is a way you need to sort them out around the back side of your frame here. So this piece holds this plate, which allows you to connect this bolt that goes through your frame onto this little plate, holds everything securely in place. Now you just need to loosen this off to be able to adjust this to get it in line so that you can thread the bolt in cleanly. So if you're not able to line it up, it might be because you haven't loosened off this bolt, which gives you the ability to adjust where it receives the bolt. So once you loosen that up and this can move around, this plate can move around, you can fiddle it around to screw in your bolt loosely, and then line everything up properly, screw it down tight, and once you get that kind of in place, then you can torque these all down to the 40 Newton meters, and everything is in place nice and tight, super clean. Make sure you don't pinch any wires. If you pinch wires up in around your mounting plates here, you will have big electrical problems. So anyway, they give you all this extra wire. You're going to have your battery connection, you're going to have your display connector, your speed sensor connector, stuff like that. All this I'm going to hide right up here in an empty water bottle, cut open just for that purpose. Anyway, that's where we are. Quick update on the build process. It's going very fast. Obviously, I've done this before. Pretty easy once you've done it. And it's pretty easy if you haven't done it. You just go slow and read the instructions. They're not that bad. Anyway, stay tuned. More to come. When you get your battery mount, you have to think about where you're going to put it. And unfortunately, they make it such that the battery mount will never fit your bike frame. You'll have to mount it either on the rear rack, or you're going to have to modify the battery mount. So I've modified the battery mount so that the battery will fit inside the front triangle of the bike. So what they give you is this. Yeah, that just slides out. Anyway, as you can see, the mount would be here where the water bottle cage is, but that's obviously going to bash into everything, and it's never going to fit because never ever going to fit. It needs to be up like this. So you have to take it apart, 3 little screws, measure carefully into this block of aluminum, drill some holes where your water bottle cages would be, use the little rubber gaskets that they would normally give you. And now I've glued a piece of foam onto the back here so that it won't rattle. And when it sits on here all in one piece, this is kind of what it's going to look like. It'd be like that. Oh wow, is it close to fitting? It's close to not fitting, but it does fit. It slides in. It's like you can't be mounting the battery mount upside down and locking it in that way. It's just going to vibrate and slide off and disconnect, and then you'll be out of power. So if you've got a smaller battery, you'd probably be okay without having to worry too much. I got very lucky in that it just barely clears, but it does, and it's where I want it, and that will work quite nicely. Anyway, that's a modification you'll have to consider making, and think about carefully where are you going to mount your battery and how are you going to do it. All right, we are getting to the tidy up phase. I'm going to set the wheel sensor alignment. We've got the cables running into the modified water bottle. Got our battery on. We got our cables running to our brake lever cutoffs. And going to our controller. So it all works. And we'll need to put the pedals on. But a few zip ties. Cleaning some cables up, and then we're ready to put it all together and take it for a test drive. But it is coming right along. Beautification process complete, and here we have it. 1998 Pulse Klein 26-inch mountain bike hardtail with rear rack. I do have panniers to go for it, but now she is electrified. 36 volt, 250 watts, which is legal. Pedal assist only, automatic cutoff with the brakes, and there it is. The things you need to look out for when installing one of these are battery mount. You may have to modify that according to the size of battery you have and what mount style you have. If it is for the bottle cage and they put it in the wrong place, you might have to be drilling holes where you didn't have holes. And make sure you have clearance between the top of the battery and the frame, so that when you lift it out or put it in, you will have enough clearance. I put all the extra cabling up in an old water bottle that everybody has 1,000 water bottles hanging around, and just cut a hole in the bottom, feed them up there, and it's all nice and clean. Little zip ties everywhere. I I had about 20 of the damn things. Had a fit trying to get the wheel speed sensor to work correctly, so I had to mount it all the way back here. Otherwise it was showing 328 kilometers an hour, and I know I'd like to do that, but I don't. There is a ton of wiring, really, but that's just the way it is. You've got cables for your digital display. You've got cables for your brake lever cutouts. They all have to make connections here into the motor, into the controller that's in the motor, and otherwise it's really pretty straightforward. It takes 2 hours if you're rushing. You know, if you're going slow, it takes you know, an afternoon. It's easy peasy. You just have to take your time, follow the instructions, which are really good, and yeah, you are electrified. Makes life easy when you're zipping around town and there's a headwind and a hill and you've got loaded panniers. Anyway, that's my latest upgrade for the Klein. I think this bike is about where I want it, and now I will be much more motivated to ride it because I ride the Dutch bike a lot and that electric motor is addictive. So thanks for watching. Leave a like and a comment, and I will see you in the next one.